So, we finally have some release dates, guys, about when we're going to be getting some more of the amazing content and reveals that Wildcard have promised us for Ark Survival Evolved. In today's video, we're going to be talking about TLC Phase 3, which is obviously the Mammoth and the Stego getting an update. We're also going to be talking about the Quality of Life update and the release date, what is obviously now 100% official. Now, if you guys do get all the information you need to know in today's video, let's try and smash the 800 like target. Thank you so much for the support recently. We're nearly at 180,000 subscribers, so make sure to be subscribed if you're not already so you don't miss out. But anyway, let's just get in with this video because obviously you guys are going to want to know all of the dates of what is happening. So we had an amazing community crunch 242 recently. Some of you guys would have seen it. It had so much information. But the main thing what we're talking about today is tender loving care number 3. So TLC is getting close, Saturday the 7th of November at 10 AM PST to be exact. This is obviously a slight delay, and Wildcard haven't actually mentioned that is a delay. They said it was going to be October. I think they said maybe October. In my eyes, I thought they said a bit more that it should definitely be coming in October. But anyway, it's Wildcard. We can't expect it, them to hit all of their release dates because they do have a lot going on. We have so much in store for our players. The Mammoth and the Stego revamp, including visual and functional upgrades, some creepy crawly evolutions, and a various quality of life additions. Stay posted for more details on what we'll be including in TLC 3 in next week's Community Crunch. Now, the very interesting thing here is that they've talked about how the Mammoth and Stego are going to be getting visual and functional upgrades, which, if you don't know what that is, we are going to be talking about that later on. I know we've talked about it in some videos before, but obviously there's always going to be new people watching the video that aren't subscribed, and they just might want to know. But another interesting thing we didn't know is some creepy crawly evolutions. Now, there's been lots of stuff going on about, like creature breeding being added into the game. So this counts as stuff like the mantis getting breeded, being able to breed, lots more creatures being able to breed, and that's kind of what it's going to become with TLC Phase 3. I've talked about it in a video about 2 months ago, and there was nothing said on it, but now finally creatures are going to be able to breed. I don't know if there's going to be any more changes maybe to the spider as well and the onyx bat, because they did mention that they were going to be getting some sort of tender love and care within the next few TLCs. So kind of in a way, if you think about it, guys, we might only be getting the Mammoth and Stego as a main, sort of visual and functional upgrade, but there's still kind of smaller TLCs with other creatures in this update. Now, there are, as mentioned as well, various quality of life additions, and at the end of this video, after we've talked about the stuff with the Mammoth and the Stego, we're going to be going through some of that stuff that it can be and what I do expect it to be, so I hope you guys do get all the information you need there. So watch out, big Saturday, 7th of November, there'll be an update on the Xbox, PS4, and the PC, so that is very, very exciting. Now, I did want to mention before that, just very quickly, Crystal, because I'm not making a separate video on this, Crystal Isles transfers on consoles. They're going to be enabling full server transfers into Crystal Isles on Xbox and PS4 official servers Friday the 20th of November. This means from that date, players will be able to download items and creatures onto the map without restrictions. That's pretty big news for a lot of you guys there. So, very quickly, I know many of you guys would have seen this already and you know exactly the changes that are coming, but obviously I feel like it's bad of me to miss it out if some people don't know. So the Mammoth's new abilities are going to be the War Drum Saddle and Buff. Basically what this means is there is going to be one more additional passenger seat on the Mammoth, and when it plays the War Drum, it will maintain a buff that improves stamina regen and it makes them immune to fear with other dinos. It's got the new Tusk Sweep, which can gather and harvest thatch. The Trumpet, which will do a debuff to enemies within range. Foot Stomp, which is basically just a forward slam, as you guys will see there. And the Trunk Grab, which is similar to the Crab's grab from Aberration. It is able to grab and hold and release smaller targets with its trunk. So it's going to be a much more useful, War Mammoth in the game. Now, the Stego is not getting as many good changes as the Mammoth, but It's basically got different backplate modes now, which there's the harder, you can change between the 3 modes when you've tamed a Stego. So the hardened plated mode, which it applies a damage reduction buff and prevents riders from being dismounted by enemies and wood harvesting benefit. The heavy plate mode applies a slow when attacking with the basic tail whip, thatch harvesting benefit as well. And then finally, the sharpened plate mode, which applies an armor penetration effect when attacking with the tail whip and is also useful for harvesting berries. And only one new attack, which is the impaling tail whip, which will be able to impale and immobilize players and smaller creatures, like you'll be able to see right here on the screen. So that is everything changing with the Mammoth and the Stego. And then we get to quality of life. Now, we have been through this list a few times as well, but obviously many of you guys may not have seen it. What this list is, it's a bit unorganized right now. Sorry to say, Cedric, and if you guys are wondering, Cedric is the lead community manager. He's been working every now on this, and obviously he has updated a few things saying what has been completed. But there has been so much in this list that has actually been completed, and it needs an update, Cedric. I will do it for you if you want me to. It probably just would take quite a long time actually. So some of the stuff we're just going to go through. We're not reading through the full list because we have done that in other videos. But there was already breeding balances. There was things like we're going to read through the most exciting ones and the ones I believe could come to the game. Increased quet speed to make them useful again. Add a glass tier. So one thing I want to mention is I think there's going to be maybe potentially some new additions from Structures Plus. So add a glass tier structures from Structures Plus. What else is going to be interesting? Able to place a campfire or sleeping bag on pillared land in PvE. That was not as amazing. Cave TLC to add black pearls, fungal wood, rare mushrooms, flowers, salt crystals. Basically like a loot TLC. What else? Okay. Make wind turbines work on more maps and show the wind percentage on all maps. Keypads that can run off batteries. I'm only going to be reading out some of the coolest ones because it's the ones that I would rather come to the game most likely. Paintable beds, which again is something that has actually, I think they sponsored like a paintable mod recently, which is interesting. Grind all function on grinders. Corner snap points on foundations for pillars so we don't have to use fence foundations. Death beacons for tames. Then this is obviously more S plus stuff, is like stackable foundations and ceilings that flush to foundation. If we scroll down a little bit more, if I have a look, ability to paint fridges, chemistry bench, fabricators, smithy and troughs, which again is something which will come with the painted. It's like the paintable beds mod, but I think it also comes with, because if you guys don't know, I've mentioned this in a few videos, Wildcard actually do implement a lot of mods into the game, which becomes official, which kind of, they do their own thing with someone's mod, and I think they do support them as well, and like, you know, sponsored mods, the mod creator actually do get paid by Wildcard, so they do support things out. The material puller from S Plus is one of my favorite ones that they've had on this list for a while, which I would love to see come to the game. This would be so useful for console players. On console, maybe a button to transfer a whole stack from one inventory to another. What else? Add custom crosshair options, a bit like a Call of Duty thing. What else could we say is obviously there's been things like keyboard and mouse support, which has already been added in. That's why I think they need to update the list. Spyglass crosshairs for console especially. Higher level cap option. What else have we got here? There's definitely some other ones that I really want to read that I don't actually miss out, because there's some huge stuff that I feel like would be fantastic. I know a lot of the stuff I mentioned for console, it's just because PC have got crazy mods that you can do things on, and then console players miss out on all of that great stuff. Advanced inventory filtering, which would be quite nice. What else? I think there's another S Plus thing. Now this is one I've always gone on about, is weather control sliders. So it would be like percentage based, and it would be like how much rain, snow, fog, the density of fog you want on your map. Now I've wanted this for so long in the game because there's not even any commands really, and the commands are a bit messed up to stop to control the weather. So this would be huge, I think, for the game. where is actual flight / glide mechanics for all flying tames, excluding the Quetzal and the giant flying space whale. What else? Pretty much, I think the tech bridge snap points was fixed. A lot of this stuff at the bottom here is being fixed, but I'd say out of all of the stuff, I would like to just overall see, obviously, weather control sliders. I'd really like to see S+, more building options and building materials. And pretty much just, like, with quality of life, a bigger and better cooker is something that that is on this list that I've always been interested in. But I think with quality of life, what I like about the updates so much is that you really can have, like, something small that gets added to the game that actually makes a huge difference, because it makes life so much easier for players, and actually can, even though it's not like a whole new dinosaur added into the game, it just kind of, I don't know, it just makes one small thing makes one server a whole lot better. And I know you guys, if you play Ark, you'll understand that. But yeah, so that is all the information you guys do need to know for Saturday the 7th of November at 10 a.m. PST, sorry. And then in my next video that you will be seeing coming today, we'll be talking about what else is happening November the 7th at 10 p.m. PST, which is not great for content creators like myself, but I'll have to make sure I work around it as easy as possible. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to be subscribed. Let's try and hit that 800 like target, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See you guys later.